In a few moments, a plane will land outside Washington after a long flight from Turkey. 4 Americans on board, one of them a Wall Street Journal reporter raised in New Jersey. The biggest prison swap with Russia in more than 50 years. It was a big win today for President Biden. It took diplomacy, not bullying. Some will question letting murderous Russian prisoners free, but for the families of the innocent U.S. prisoners, well, hugs trump everything. Jim Dolan in the newsroom with what all this means. Jim?
Held in a Russian prison for almost 6 years, former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan is a free man tonight. 16 months into a 16-year prison sentence, Evan Gershkovich is finally free as well. A complex diplomatic briar patch that took years of negotiations to navigate and led today to this joyful picture.
I spent a lot of time with the families of Evan and Paul and Alsu, and most of the time, as you can imagine, those are tough conversations, but not today. Today, excuse me, today was a very good day.
President Biden invited family members of the released prisoners to the Oval Office today, and in a phone call, they heard for the first time the voices of their now freed relatives. 6 nations, 5 in the West, and Russia today exchanged 24 prisoners, the most complex prisoner swap since the Cold War. 3 are Americans, and a 4th holds a U.S. green card. Gershkovich, the Wall Street Journal reporter, is probably the most well-known in the U.S. He was convicted of espionage in a secret trial with no public evidence.
This was a fast, secret, and completely bogus trial. Everything about it was a sham.
But Vladimir Putin got exactly what he wanted out of the deal, too, and he welcomed him home today. Vadim Krasikov, an alleged Russian hitman convicted of the broad daylight murder of a Chechen dissident in Germany. Russia traded 16 prisoners for 8 held in the West.
We're overjoyed and hope to actually see him soon.
Paul Whelan's brother said that while his family held out hope for this day, as others like WNBA star Brittany Griner were released, they were never sure Whelan would be.
You want to be generous. You are happy to see other people freed. But you do start to wonder, and I think we were concerned that as time went on, Paul was going to become one of those insolvable cases.
Their brutal ordeal is over, and they're free. This is an incredible relief for all the family members gathered here. It's relief to the friends and colleagues all across the country who've been praying for this day for a long time.
In earlier negotiations, U.S. diplomats had tried to win the release of Russian dissident Alexei Navalny, but he died, some say he was murdered, in a Russian prison, and negotiations began all over again. Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
What a night in development. Some sort of motorcade right now as we look at this live shot at Joint Base Edwards, where President Biden and Vice President Harris are among those who are going to be gathering. We don't know if that's them or not yet. Awaiting the return, of course, of that plane. And when the plane lands, we will bring you an ABC News special report on all of this.